Good morning, students. I welcome you all. I hope you all are fine and safe along with your family members. Today I'll continue the chapter, The Address. In previous tutorial, we read about the significance of the title of the story, The Address. When narrator was a child, her mother asked her to remember an address. And what was that address? It was number 46 Marconi Street. So when narrator grew up, she went to that address, but owner of that house, Mrs. Darling, she did not greet narrator in a welcoming way, and narrator felt that Mrs. Darling was uncomfortable. What was the reason? That we will read now. So let's begin. I followed the girl along the passage. An old-fashioned iron Hanukkah candle holder hung next to a mirror. We never used it because it was much more cumbersome than a single candlestick. Cumbersome means heavy, you can say. So when narrator went to Mrs. Darling's house again, her daughter was there. This time Mrs. Darling was not at home and her daughter was there. So now writer says that she followed the girl along that passage that way, and then she saw Hanukkah. What is Hanukkah? Hanukkah is the feast of lights, a Hebrew festival in December. It is actually a festival which is celebrated in December, and Hebrew people, one region is there, Hebrew. So those people celebrate this festival. It is celebrated in the month of December. So now when narrator went behind that girl, and just then she saw that Hanukkah candle holder. It was there next to mirror, and then narrator remembered, and she says that actually that Hanukkah was also narrator's mother, Mrs. S. So now narrator says that we never used it because it was very clumsy, it's very big, clumsy. So we would use single candlestick instead of that Hanukkah candle holder. Won't you sit down? Asked the girl. She held open the door of her living room, and I went inside past her. I stopped, horrified. Now narrator says that that girl asked her to sit, and when she went inside, she was horrified. Why? Because she was shocked. And what was the reason? That we will see in next few lines. I was in a room I knew and did not know. I found myself in the midst of things I did want to see again, but which oppressed me in the strange atmosphere. Narrator was shocked because she found herself, midst means middle, in the middle of the things, all those things which she wanted to see again. So that is what she is saying, that I knew, a room, I knew and I did not know. So I knew, the word I knew because she is using, because all the things were narrator's mother. Everything in that room was of narrator's mother, and did not know means that house was not her mother's, it was somebody's, it was Mrs. Darling's house. That is why she is saying that I knew and I did not know. And now she says that all the things she wanted to see, and that is the reason she went there, but all those things were there in a strange atmosphere. Of course, of the tasteless way everything was arranged, because of the ugly furniture or the muggy smell that hung there. I don't know, but I scarcely dared to look around me. Now earlier writer was very excited, she was curious to see all those things, but now when everything is there, She is surrounded by all those things. Now she does not want to see, and what she is saying, scarcely dare to look around me. And what is the reason? Because she had a feeling, a deep feeling for those things, because all those things belong to her mother. But now all those things are kept here, unarranged, here and there. Ugly furniture is there, a muggy smell is there. So now she is feeling that she doesn't want to look around. The girl moved a chair. I sat down and stared at the woolen tablecloth. Now that girl, she moved a chair and writer sat, and just then she saw tablecloth. It was a woolen tablecloth. I rubbed it. My fingers grew warm from rubbing. Nothing is that actually that writer, author, she wanted to touch that woolen cloth, because that woolen cloth was also of narrator's mother. So she touched that woolen cloth, tablecloth, and she after that she rubbed, and now she feels that her fingers were warm. I followed the lines of the pattern. Somewhere on the edge there should be a burn mark that had never been repaired. Now she is searching a burn mark, because she remembered that many years back that tablecloth, it had a burn. So now she is searching that burn. My mother will be back soon, said the girl. I have already made tea for her. Will you have a cup? Now that girl said that my mother will be back soon and I have prepared tea for my mother. So she offered tea to narrator also. Thank you. Narrator said thank you. I looked up. The girl put cups ready on the tea table. She had a broad back just like her mother. Now narrator saw that girl. She was keeping cups on the table, and she realized that that girl also had a broad back just like her mother. She poured tea from a white pot. All it had was a gold border on the lid. I remember. She opened a box and took some spoons out. Now that teapot, it was also of Mrs. S, narrator's mother. So now when she saw that teapot, she remembered that it had gold border. Its border was gold on the lid. And then that girl, she opened a box and took some spoons out. That's a nice box. I heard my own voice. It was a strange voice, as though each sound was different in this room. Now when that girl took a box, writer said, that's a nice box. And now she is saying that I felt that my voice was different. Oh, you know about them. She had turned round and brought me my tea. Now that girl said, oh, do you know about them? And after that she gave tea to narrator. She laughed and she laughed. My mother says it's antique. We have got lots more. She pointed round the room. See for yourself. Now that girl, that small girl, she is saying that my mother says it's antique. Antique is old thing. So now our narrator, she was offered tea by that girl, and after that she laughed and said that these things are antique and we have so many other things also. And she offered narrator to see, and she said, see yourself. I had no need to follow her hand. I knew which things she meant. I just looked at the still life over the tea table. As a child, I had always fancied the apple on the pewter plate. So everything, now though that girl is asking narrator to see, but narrator says that she did not see, because she knew everything in that room was narrator's mother. And now she remembered then when she was a child, and there was a pewter plate. Pewter is in Hindi it is called kasa, you can say. It's an alloy of tin and lead. So lead is in Hindi it is called kasa. You will understand better if I say kasa. So now that apple, it was a plate, and fancied means to desire. So now writer says that when she was a child, there was a pewter plate in their house, and she always wanted to eat apple on that plate. Her mother would keep apples, so she always wanted, it was her desire, fancied means desire, it was her wish to eat apples from that pewter plate. We use it for everything, she said. Once we even ate off the plates hanging there on the wall. I wanted to so much, but it was not anything special. Now that girl is saying, we use it for everything. She said once because I have eaten food in these plates, but when I ate, I did not find any difference or something special. I had found the burn mark on the tablecloth. The girl looked questioningly at me, and just then narrator found that burn mark on that tablecloth, and when that girl saw this, she was looking at the narrator in a questioning way. Yes, I said, you get so used to touching all these lovely things in the house, you hardly look at them anymore. You only notice when something is missing because it has to be repaired or because you have lent it, for example. So now narrator says that yes, it happens that we have so many things in our home and we don't notice, but if something is missing, and why missing, maybe for repairing, we have sent for repairing, or we have lent it, we have given to somebody, then we notice this thing that something is missing. Again, I heard the unnatural sound of my voice, and I went for. I remember my mother once asked me if I would help her polish the silver. It was a very long time ago, and I was probably bored that day, or perhaps I had to stay at home because I was ill, as she had never asked me before. Now, narrator says that once what happened, her mother asked narrator to help in polishing the silver. And why? Because that day she was at home. Now she said, maybe I was ill, because I was ill, and before that mother never asked for help. I asked her which silver she meant, and she replied, surprised, that it was the spoons, forks and knives, of course. And that was the strange thing. I did not know the cutlery we ate of every day was silver. Now writer says that every day what cutlery they were using, it was made of silver, but she was not aware of that. And when that day mother asked her to polish that silver, then she came to know about this. The girl laughed again. I bet you don't know. It is either. I looked intently at her. Now again writer asked that girl, I bet you don't know. What we eat with? She asked. Now again girl is asking, what we eat with? Well, do you know? The writer is asking, do you know that all those things are of silver? She hesitated. Actually, she was also not aware. So that girl hesitated. She walked to the sideboard and wanted to open a drawer. I look, it is in here. Now she tried to open that drawer, and she said that she would look, maybe it's there. I jumped up. I was forgetting the time. I must catch my train. Now writer just jumped up, and she said that she was to catch her train. She had her hand on the drawer. Don't you want to wait for my mother? Now that girl said, will you not wait for my mother? No, I must go. I walked to the door. The girl pulled the drawer open. I can find my own way. Now narrator just say, no, I have to go because I have to catch my train. So she says that I walked to the door, and that narrator, she went towards the door, and that girl, she pulled that drawer open. I can find my way, this narrator says, and she went from there. As I walked down the passage, I heard the jingling of spoons and forks. And when narrator was coming out from the house, she heard jingling is sound of spoons and forks. At the corner of the road, I looked up at the nameplate. Marconi Street, it said. I had been at number 46. Now this address, she saw again this address. Writer saw the address was correct, but now I did not want to remember it anymore. I would not go back there because the objects that are linked in your memory with the familiar life of former times instantly lose their value when severed means separated from them. You see them again in strange surroundings. And what should I have done with them in a small rented room where the shreds of blackout paper still hung along the windows and no more than a handful of cutlery fitted in the narrow table drawer? Now she says, actually she had feelings because those things were connected to her mother, so she had deep feelings for those things. But today, when she found all those things in a separated, in a different surrounding, now writer has lost her eagerness about those things. So now she says that now those things were not attracting her, and at last she says that what will I do of those things, because now she was living in a rented room. Earlier she had a big house, and her mother had so many things, but now her mother is no more and she has no house. She is living in a rented rented room only. So now she says that that room has only where the shreds of blackout paper still hung along the windows and no more than a handful, because less space is there. This line is used because less space is there, and she says only handful, a little cutlery can be fitted in that room in narrow table drawer. I resolved to forget the address. Now resolve means decided. So she says, I decided to forget the address. Of all the things I had to forget, that would be the easiest. So now again this line, see, she's saying that forgetting other things and forgetting that address. So what was easy for her? Forgetting that address. It was easy for her, would be the easiest. The easiest means forgetting about all those things. If we compare, then forgetting that address was the most easiest thing for her. So here we end the chapter. Now today's homework, you have to write answers of given questions in your homework notebook. With this, I wish you good health. Stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you.